Hey everybody, what's up y'all? Welcome back to TammyTalks. Let's get into Housewives of Potomac. Alright, so we're on season 7, episode 2, Allegation Nation. So this episode picks right back up where the last one left off, where Gizelle was talking to Mia, telling her that the way that she's going about and approaching the whole I might have cancer, might not have cancer, I'm going through whatever, the way that she's going about that is coming across kind of, I want attention, I need attention. So Jacqueline, who is Mia's friend, said that sometimes when you're going through something, it can be unclear. And this is kind of, the space that she is in. Her doctor's telling her, different, varying different reports. So Wendy and Candace come over. Mia then said that Gizelle is questioning her health scare. And Gizelle was like, no, I'm not questioning your health scare. I'm questioning the way that you're choosing to go about it. Robin then said, we're not going to sit here and act like only Robin and Gizelle are the only people that have been doing it. Because Ashley has, Candace has, Karen, and production is showing the clips of everybody saying something. Everybody gets quiet. It's just kind of like, because they were. The difference is these people know how to keep it behind your back. Gizelle goes right to your face. And I know a lot of people, like y'all like to sit up here and say that y'all hate Gizelle. She's so awful. But Gizelle is one of the only housewives across kind of all the franchises that is not going to talk about you solely behind your back, and is going to legitimately go straight to you and give you the real. And I think the fact that she does that, it's jarring it in people's faces. But let's be real, in this scenario, when you look at the flashbacks, everybody was talking about the way that Mia has been handling this. There is a time and a place, Gizelle at her big age has not learned that yet. So Robin said that you're going through and you're posting these messages and you're leaving everybody on a cliffhanger. So it's like one day you have cancer, the next day you're saying it's not. Like, we just want to get some clarity on what it is that's going on. And I will say this, if you're a person and like, I hope that Mia is that you don't want to hear about anybody having cancer, right? But the way that Mia is going about it is a little sus. It is. I just kind of feel like, as a person, if you're going through something as serious as cancer, why wouldn't you wait until you are 1,000% sure that you do have cancer? And I think that's the part that Mia is missing. It is coming across as you being somebody that wanted to get some attention from it. I would much rather prefer that you just say, yeah, I was feeling kind of low. I want to get some attention about it. Maybe I posted prematurely about it. But Mia wants to double down about this. So while this is going on, Wendy interrupts and it's like, so who is this? Because Jacqueline is talking. And it's like, who are you? Who is this? And it's like, Wendy, why do you have to do this right now? Wendy's been feeling herself. Y'all gassed Wendy up after that last reunion. And now she is just doing the absolute most. So Charisse then shows up and Karen does not look the most pleased. Karen said that she did not invite her, but she's glad to see her. Robin is in her confessional and said that Karen said we can invite whoever we want to. So I didn't think that it would be a problem to invite Charisse. So Karen then asks, everybody kind of disperses. Karen asks Mia, are you okay? Mia said that she's fine, but she cannot control her personality disorder. So what is it, Mia? Do you have a personality disorder that is causing you to lie? Because you had a lying problem, like word to Miss Misha, you got a little lying problem that we experienced your whole freshman season. So like, nonetheless, keep Mia lifted in prayer, okay? Katie shows up. And Charisse is talking to Karen. She wants to get together with Karen so that they can catch up. Wendy is happy that Ashley and Candace are talking and working through things. Candace said, it's not that I didn't think that Ashley was a fun person. We were at odds because, remember, Ashley wrote the character witness statement against Candace, which it's always bothered me that Ashley wants to act like she doesn't comprehend why Candace would be mad at her for that. You know what you were doing, but all right, Ashley. So then Karen tells Ray to stay here because she's gonna she's gonna be doing the speech later. She wants to make sure everybody's all together. She wants him to pay attention. Katie comes in. Gizelle tells Katie that, Ray has a crush on you. Let me go show Ray that you're here. So she walks over and she hugs Ray. Ray is excited to see her. She grabs him on the butt. She's rubbing on his head. Karen is looking from the other side of the room like, I know you fucking lying. So Karen comes over and is like, I need you to behave yourself, okay? Ray is just a smiling and a cheesing and just happy to be there. So Karen gives this speech that's really weird. And it was about not worrying about what other people feel or think about you. Even if those naysayers or coworkers or someone you're dating and everybody is looking around like, what is she talking about? So then she finishes up this speech by saying the Grand Dame is back. And everybody was like, well, where did she go? When did the Grand Dame leave? Leave it to Karen. So we then have a scene with Robin driving with her son. She's asking her sons about their grades. We then see Wendy telling her son she wants to teach them how to cook so that they aren't dependent on a woman. I want you to be able to cook for yourself. And her husband Eddie walks by and it's like, yeah, because even if you do have a woman, you don't know when she's going to cook or something like that. And Wendy is like, excuse me, which means that Wendy's not doing what Eddie wants her to do in the household. Foreshadowing, mark it, y'all, foreshadowing. They don't put scenes like that in arbitrarily. So we get Candace. She's at home prepping to cook. When her sister comes in with a bottle of wine. So her sister, who is her mother and her stepfather's child, is living with her while she gets property built. So she said that her sister was living in an apartment. The family bought property for her and bought it. So it sounds like her mom is building her sister a house, basically. So Candace is telling her sister that she wants to be pregnant by the end of the year. She's scared of the unknown of being a mom because she said it's the most permanent thing that you can do. Her sister asks how is she adjusting to Chris's work schedule. Candace said not good at all. She's used to Chris being home, being around, basically being at her beck and call all the time. And now that Chris is the general manager at the the bar there, he's gone. He's out till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes. And Candace is having a really, really tough time with that. So then we get over to Ashley. Ashley has a friend of the show now, by the name of Deborah. So Deborah comes over for a play date with Dylan, and she has her baby who can't even stand up yet, but they're gonna have a play date. And Ashley was telling her that her and Michael are in the same house. They're not sleeping in the same room. Michael has the master bedroom. Ashley is sleeping in the room with Dylan. So then I was like, where's Dean? Do the boys share? I don't want to know. So her friend asks her, is it weird for you? Ashley said it's no different because they talk about the kids majority of the time anyways, so nothing is really different aside from the lack of romance. She then said that it's working out for her. Her friend asks, is Michael trying to woo you and get you back in? We always hear it's cheaper to keep her. Ashley says she doesn't know. She doesn't know. Maybe. She has no idea. So Ashley lets us know that Michael is going to remain in this apartment in the penthouse because he doesn't want to have to deal with a yard and maintenance and stuff like that. He likes the amenities that come with it being in an apartment as opposed to the maintenance for a house. So Deborah asks her, okay, if something breaks at your house, what are you going to do? She was like, I guess I will call Michael. Girl, call Uncle Lump. Uncle Lump will come fix it, or Uncle Lump will point you in a director of a contractor, plumber, mechanic, electrician, whatever you need, Uncle Lump will help you out too. So Ashley then tells her that she wants to have a dance class in heels, kind of like a pole, sexy dance class, pole dance sans the pole, and she wants to invite all of the girls to the class. We get a scene with Gizelle and Robin. So they're meeting at a coffee shop. And Robin was like, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, but before we do, I have a bone to pick with you. And Gizelle is like, what did I do now? And Robin was like, think about it. What should you not have told? And Gizelle was like, as soon as I said it and saw their faces. And Giselle's excuse is, I thought that they knew. Robin said, why would they know? That's not something that you tell people. You told Gizelle, though. Robin is going to learn the very, very hard way to stop telling Gizelle anything about her personal business. I get they're really friends, but wait until y'all are done filming the show and that is no longer a part of anything that involves anything about anything that is going on. So Gizelle tells her that, I don't even remember if Gizelle apologized. I don't remember she's apologized. I'm sure she did, because she will apologize to Robin. Robin says in her confessional that Juan's name is not on the mortgage because of the foreclosure, which is still on his credit. It would have raised their interest rate. So she said it's not as if she is living in that, they're in that house that's hers. It's still their house together. It's your house. If his name is not on the mortgage, it is your house, Robin. But it's cute that you want to make it seem like y'all are sharing that together. So they then start talking about Mia. Gizelle feels like she wants to send Mia a text. Robin was like, yes, because your delivery was wrong, which is always Giselle's problem. It is her delivery. Her delivery is shitty. So she sends this text to Mia that's like, hey, I want to talk to you. I feel like we got off on the wrong foot. My delivery was off. Hope we can get together. Robin then talks about how she hung out with Ashley the day before. She said that Ashley told her that Chris DM'd her at 2 o'clock in the morning, telling her that she could have come to the W. And Gizelle was like, DM'd you? Why? So we get the scene with Ashley. He did not DM her. He responded to a story. Do I still think that responding at 2 o'clock in the morning is a little odd? Yes. But he didn't slide in your DMs. So Ashley said that after the whole spring fling thing, she was out with somebody else having drinks. And Chris responded to her story 2:42 in the morning saying, should have come to the W. Robin said that she would have never thought anything of it because he works there. He's the manager. And Ashley was like, oh, I had no idea. So now for Ashley, it puts things into more perspective. Robin, who is really one of the homies to everybody, said that she wouldn't have felt weird about it. Okay? That's fine if you don't feel weird about it, Robin. But what I think a lot of what went on this entire episode was a lot of people feeling like I'm going to tell you how you should feel comfortable, or I'm going to discredit when you were uncomfortable. And that's kind of what Robin was doing as well. So Gizelle wants to say, so he slid in her DMs. Robin was like, it's semantics. He responded to a story. In her confessional, Ashley said it just felt off to her. It felt off. Gizelle then said that Chris slides into her DMs and it's not comfortable for her. So Gizelle tells a story about how after the reunion, Chris told her he wanted to talk to her in private. Gizelle said fine. They went to her dressing room because she assumed that her glam team would still be there, so it wasn't a big deal. Her glam team was not there. Nothing happened. He didn't say anything inappropriate. He didn't make a pass at her or anything like that. But Gizelle still said that because she is somebody that was cheated on, Jamal cheated on her numerous times, she doesn't even want the optics or anything to look like she was in an uncompromising position. Now that I do agree with, right? The way that these women move on this show, the last thing you want to do is see that the dressing room that says Gizelle, and you see Chris coming out as Wendy's ass or somebody is walking down the hall, and now it's going to turn into a storyline. So I understand Gizelle for that, but what Gizelle should have did is went to Candace right away, because they were still on fairly good terms, I believe. They were on decent enough terms. She should have went to Candace right away instead of waiting until now to make it a storyline. So Robin tells her she doesn't think it was a big deal. Gizelle said that she has had many a married man be in her DMs trying her, and she feels like in that moment Chris was trying her because he was complaining to her about another woman, which is his wife. Robin, again, it's not a big deal, okay? I just feel like Robin, while Robin might think like that, if somebody's telling you, I'm uncomfortable because a castmate's husband came to my room and it was the two of us in close quarters, you have to acknowledge and just respect that she was uncomfortable with it. You have to. So then we get a scene with Karen. Karen is talking to Ray about the issue with her breast lift. So Karen went to the doctor earlier to find out how it was going. She said she took her bat wing tissue, and I think she took, like, did you say something from her sides? She took fatty tissue from her body and simply put it into her breast because they were starting to sag. She wanted to get a lift since she took her implants out. So it's still natural, okay? So she's telling Ray that everything went great at the doctor. She then asks Ray what is his issue with her getting the breast lift done now as opposed to when she got it done back in her 30s. Ray said he doesn't want younger ladies to be encouraged to do it, like, you know, I guess the people watching the show, their nieces or even their daughter Raven. Karen said, well, I would never pressure Raven to do it until she was ready. I would never encourage her to do that. So Ray feels that it shouldn't be done at all. Raven said that some people do things without justification. And Karen said, I don't need justification to do nothing. So we can drop it right now. Okay? Karen said, don't play with somebody else. Don't play with me. So we move over to Mia. Mia is out at breakfast with Jacqueline and Gordon. So we find out Jacqueline is her best friend since they have been 15 years old. And Jacqueline jokes that Gordon, Mia, and her are in a throuple. In her confessional, Mia said that that is like Gordon's other wife, but they don't have sex. Something has happened because you've been blasting this woman that has been your friend for over 20 years at this point, dragging her to and fro on the on Instagram just last week. So they talk about her health scare, and she said that more testing has to still be done. And she feels like Gizelle was not only being disrespectful to her, but disrespectful to the host for even coming at her like that. Jacqueline felt like Karen was doing a CYA, which is a covering your ass. So she basically felt like even though Gizelle, even though Karen knew Gizelle was wrong, she didn't want to cross her. So she tried to backpedal and cover it up, which is what she did. Which is what I've said before, that Karen does a lot. Anytime, because Karen says and does a lot of shady shit. But when people bring it up to her, she knows how to moonwalk and backpedal her way right on out of it. And I feel like people fall for it. Well, the people in the cast fall for it all the time. So Mia then brings up that Karen texted her the day before the event saying, I just want to invite you to the event. But just so you know, some of the ladies have been talking about your health scare, just like a heads up. So Mia was like, which basically means we've been talking about you for the past couple of days. And she didn't take that too kindly because she feels that Karen had ample opportunity to talk to her. They've met in person. They've talked on the phone. They have FaceTimed. And she points out, Karen, you live right up the street. You could have just come to my house. So she then points out that Gizelle called her. She didn't answer because she was in the spa. And Gizelle texted her. She said she left it on unread because she does not respond to people that are rude. She said the girls were, she was trying to be nice to everybody last year. And now they're all going to get a taste of Mia Thornton. So we get Ashley and Candace. So Ashley feels like she just has to take this up with Candace, has to get this off her chest. I think far too often on the show, these ladies feel like every little single thing that happens has to be talked about. The two of them go out to lunch. Candace talks about being at the Grammys, how it was just this great networking event for her, how being in that room with all these different people was like just this great humbling experience. So Ashley tells Candace that she woke up the next morning and Chris had DM'd her at 2:40 in the morning. And she's like, my husband, Chris? Yes, your husband, Chris. So she tells her that he tells her that she should have went to the W. And she was, Ashley said that she felt uncomfortable with that. And Candace was like, why? He works at the W. Ashley said, yes, I now know that. I know that now, that he is the manager. She said, but in that moment, I had no idea. I thought that maybe he thought that like my homegirl was cute or something like that. She said, so that's why it just made me feel a different way. Okay? So she said she wanted to be very forthcoming with Candace in case Candace was ever going through his phone and she saw the DM. It isn't on some, my husband did this, that, and the other, you weren't, whatever. So she wanted to like just kind of clear the air. Candace said that Chris is trying to rebrand The View. I think it's called The View. And he wants her friends to go because he wants cool people there. That's all it is. She said in her confessional she is going to give Ashley the benefit of the doubt that she is not being shady. I said, ooh, okay. I think, and I'm not saying that Chris is cheating on Candace or whatever, but Chris and Candace obviously have some cracks in the, that they obviously have some cracks in the mirror or cracks in the foundation in their relationship. So we get to Ashley's dance class. Karen says she can't make it because she has a fever of 102. Robin arrives first. Gizelle comes in very quickly after. Ashley tells them that Karen won't be coming. She has a fever. Robin immediately said, well, she tipped off that Sharice is coming. And Ashley was like, why? What is the issue? Gizelle said, oh, well, Karen is avoiding Sharice. Sharice said that, she's been trying to reach out to Karen and she's not responding back to her or anything like that. Like, and it's because Sharice has some tea on Karen that she does not want Sharice to say. Okay? So Ashley and Gizelle are talking. And Ashley feels that Gizelle was accusing her of using the divorce for attention. Gizelle said, that's not what I said. You're confusing two different conversations. I said, Mia was using cancer for attention. She said, I just feel like you're kind of toying with this idea of divorce. Gizelle said, as a person that has went through divorce, she takes it very serious. She doesn't play with it. And she said, you don't buy a house with somebody that you are divorcing. Ashley then flips it around and said, well, didn't you and Jamal reconcile? Gizelle said, yeah, 15 years later. She was like, are y'all getting back together? Ashley said, I didn't know that there was a statute of limitations on love. I said, Ashley, stop it. Stop it. Everybody's thinking that this Ashley divorce scenario is all storyline anyways. So scenes like this don't really help. So Ashley said they are not back together, but they could get back together. She said, he's never cheated on her. Everybody was like, word? And she was like, well, not recently. He doesn't have any outside children, so it's a very different circumstance. Sharice was like, so what is the problem? Ashley said that Michael was helping her buy a house because the type of house that she wants, she would not be able to get without Michael's help. Charisse, who was spending all of Eddie's money, doesn't see a problem with that. So the four of them, they go in to start doing this dance class. The ladies all start to trickle in. Candace comes next. Mia shows up. Mia said in her confessional, she doesn't respond to people that are rude to her and disrespectful to her. And so now Gizelle can book an appointment if she wants to speak to her. Mia, girl, it ain't that deep. I feel like people that get that upset, that get that triggered, that get that want to make such a production about stuff like that, there's some truth to the fact that you were doing a little bit of this for attention. So Wendy then comes in, said that she was late because she had to chaperone one of her son's field trips, and she then had to do political commentary for the swearing in of the new Supreme Court Justice. She said that she doesn't have enough time to keep up with everything that she has on her plate now, but yet she is still adding more and more stuff to it. Wendy's storyline is going to end up being Wendy and her husband getting into it over her lack of time. I'm foreseeing that now. So after class, Ashley tells the ladies there is champagne and all this other type of stuff outside. So they all go out, and Charisse asks Ashley when she is going to put out her divorce statement. Ashley said that she's going to do it after she gets the loan for the house because the house is going through with Michael. And the connection that they have at the bank are through Michael. So it's going to look better if, they get the house or if they announce the divorce after the house. Ashley's not divorcing that man. Meanwhile, Gizelle is talking to Candace and Robin, and she tells they're talking about Candace wanting to do her IVF. And Robin is like, so why are you doing IVF? Like, I don't understand the process. Like, do you still want to do it naturally? Candace said, yeah, but I want to harvest my eggs now so that if at 40 I want to have another kid, I have these young eggs, younger eggs that are more viable. Gizelle was like, yeah, it totally makes sense. So she then tells Robin, I want to speak to Candace alone. Candace is like, oh, Lord, what did I do now? Gizelle tells Candace that after the conversation with Ashley about Chris, that Chris has made her feel uncomfortable as well, and she wants to clear the air. So she rehashes the situation at the reunion. Candace was like, did he say something to you uncomfortable? Gizelle was like, no. She said, did he touch you? Gizelle was like, no. She was like, I just want to make you aware of that situation and how that made me feel in that moment. Candace then said, because he would never do that to you. So Candace is trying not to cry, and she's like, Chris thinks of her, Robin, and Ashley, talking about Gizelle, as friends. He's cooked for you guys. He would lay down his jacket over a puddle for you guys, and now this is what you're going to do, is basically vilify my husband. Gizelle said, I don't have a problem with him, but I want you to know that in that moment, I was uncomfortable. Candace then stands up and calls for a producer. And she said she doesn't need the cameras, just a producer. She goes into, I don't know if it was a bathroom or a room, but she's telling a producer, Eric, that if they are going to make her husband the source of the attack, they don't want her around for that. It does seem like it is, Chris's turn as the husband for us to attack, but it's also, if these ladies say that Chris made them feel away, then he made them feel away. Move accordingly. Tell your husband, stop talking to these heifers. That's what you do, Candace. That's how you solve that. Keep your husband away from them, and then that way nobody has to be uncomfortable. But you don't discount somebody's feelings. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Gizelle's messy. She wasn't uncomfortable. Y'all don't know that. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode, and I will catch you guys in the next one.